Hello everyone, welcome to MASA Military. The United Kingdom has delivered a batch of StormShadow cruise missiles to Ukraine, giving Ukrainian forces a new long-range strike capability ahead of a much-anticipated counteroffensive against Russian forces. British Secretary of State for Defence Ben Wallace confirmed to Parliament on May 11th that the UK was supplying Ukraine with StormShadow missiles. These cruise missiles have a range of more than 155 miles, farther than any other weapon Western countries have provided Kyiv. He said the donation of the long-range weapons system, which can repel Russian forces occupying Ukraine, gives Ukraine its best chance of defending itself against a brutal enemy. In early February, the United States promised to provide the Ukrainian army with a ground-launched small-diameter bomb with a range of about 93 miles. Russia claimed that the missile had entered Ukraine, and Kyiv did not deny it. Judging from the current situation, the Ukrainian army has acquired the ability to do a long-range strike at the Russian occupying forces. Ordered Kyiv immediately after the outbreak of the Ukraine war, and has provided or guaranteed military aid of 5.3 billion euros thus far, second only to the United States. The weapons Britain sends to Ukraine include anti-tank missiles, air defense artillery systems, combat armored vehicles, etc. Britain also provided Ukraine with Challenger 2 main battle tanks. In addition, the United States announced on May 9th that it would provide Ukraine with another $1.2 billion in military aid, including 155mm howitzer ammunitions, anti-drone ammunitions, additional air defense systems, and anti-aircraft missile launchers, missiles and radars that will integrate Ukrainian air defense systems with Western aid and integrated equipment, as well as commercial satellite imaging services and more. The StormShadow cruise missile was jointly developed by France and Britain in the 1990s and is now produced by MBDA. It is a cruise missile launched outside the theater and is the world's first truly stealth cruise missile. It is divided into air-launched and Navy type. The air-launched missile weighs about 2,900 pounds with a conventional warhead of 990 pounds. It has a maximum body diameter of 19 inches and a wingspan of 120 inches. It is propelled at Mach 0.8 by a microturbo TRI 6030 turbojet engine. The range of the StormShadow missile is 350 miles, but the export model has been reduced to 155 miles. This time, it is likely that the export model will be provided to Ukraine. The United Kingdom has reached an agreement with Ukraine that StormShadow is only used to strike Russian military targets on Ukrainian sovereign territory, including Crimea, and cannot be used to strike Russia itself. The actual combat effectiveness of StormShadow and whether it can help the Ukrainian army beat the Russian army's logistics and command nodes will be known in the future. The missile is fire and forget, programmed before launch. In subsequent upgrades, a two-way data link was added, enabling in-flight repositioning capabilities. The missile follows a path semi-autonomously on a low-flight path guided by GPS and terrain mapping to the target area. Close to the target, the missile climbs and then dives into the target. Climbing to altitude is intended to achieve the best probability of target identification and penetration. During the final maneuver, the nose cone is jettisoned to allow a high-resolution thermographic camera to observe the target area. On approaching the target, its onboard infrared seeker matches the target image with the stored picture to ensure precision strike and minimal collateral damage. If it cannot, and there is a high risk of collateral damage, the missile is capable of flying to a crash point instead of risking inaccuracy. The warhead of StormShadow features an initial penetrating charge to clear soil or enter a bunker, then a variable delay fuse to control detonation of the main warhead. Intended targets are command, control, and communication centers, airfields, ports and power stations, ammunition management and storage facilities, surface ships, and submarines in port. bridges, and other high-value strategic targets. The StormShadow cruise missile given to Ukraine is an air launch type and will not be modified for ground launch. The weapon can be launched from a number of different aircraft: Dassault Mirage 2000, Dassault Rafale, the Panavia Tornado, and Eurofighter Typhoon. The active aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force are all Soviet-style aircraft: Su-24 and Su-25 attack aircraft, Su-27 and MiG-29 fighter. The missile weighs about 2,900 pounds, so it is estimated that only Su-24 and Su-27 could be the launching platforms of the StormShadow missile. In the past, the AGM-88 high-speed anti-radiation missile and JDAM, aided by the United States, were successfully integrated into the MiG-29 fighter. The Ukrainian army also has overcome technical obstacles and is preparing to mount a batch of US-made 5-inch Zuni rockets on the Su-25 to strike Russian ground targets. Therefore, it should not be impossible to integrate the StormShadow missile on the Su-27 or Su-24. Okay, that's all for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support MASA Military. See you next time.